Hey guys, Dave Santarelli here from the Santarelli Trading Exchange. It's Sunday night, we're doing our class, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to go over hook patterns, okay? Hook patterns are one of our top 3 chart patterns we trade at TSE, and with the recent downfall we've had in the markets, this is some prime candidates for some great hook patterns. First off, I want to show you a trade we did on RH back in end of September. We had a nice hook pattern here. We had a big drop of at least 10%, and we formed a base. You see we consolidated here. We did not drop below the base. This was our entry on RH, and let's see what RH did. So our target on RH was $140 a share, and we reached that. If you guys have seen in my 3 major types of chart patterns we trade at TSE, we've reached that from the SMAs, or if there's resistance. So a hook pattern, we're looking for, if this dropped, let's say this dropped 20%, okay? From the top of the candle here before it dropped to the base, the bottom of the base. What we're looking for, if this was a 20% drop, we're looking for a quick, anywhere from a 7 to a 10% retracement, and that's our target, unless there's resistance. And I think RH, we had resistance, that's the green line here. So that's our resistance. So we had our target right before, right below our resistance. So our target, we reached there on 2 days. We took our profits, hook was completed hook pattern, and RH was a great trade because we had that nice drop, we formed that base, and here was our entry. Our entry is the first green candle after the base is formed. So this is our green candle here. We have a larger green candle than the day before, so this is engulfing the previous one, and we had a green candle. This is our entry, and you can either go with calls, you could do a spread, but the important thing with the hook pattern, it's a relatively quick trade. We're looking for anywhere from a few days to a month tops, okay, and each one of these candles here represent 1 day. So once we got our entry, this trade only lasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 or 4 days. And that's trading days. That doesn't include weekends or days off. So 3 to 4 trading days, and it completed that hook. And once it completes your target, you're out. Nice thing about TSE, is there a way we could go back to the previous chart? So here, the nice thing with the Santarelli Exchange is we're sending members these patterns before they form. That way they have the opportunity to look at them and see if it's a good trade setup for them. So when I sent this out to members, it was, somewhere around September 10th or September 9th. It might have been September 11th actually. I remember us trading on September 11th RH. But this was our entry, and you see the arrow. I told members once we entered here, our target was 140. That's the one nice thing about becoming a TSE member. You're going to get all these charts sent to you. They're going to be on the trade feed on the website. And you're going to get specific. Let's go to that next chart of RH. So you're going to get specific entry, exits, and targets. And this is a great way to teach members. And throughout the years of having my service, that's what members have asked most for, was, Dave, how do you find the entries, the exits, and the targets? They want detail, 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 and that's what we're giving them right now. So once that base of the hook is formed, and let me tell you, not all chart patterns that have a big drop like that are going to be hook patterns. There are only certain ones. It depends on the company, the sector, and it depends what the general market's doing. This was a great candidate for a hook pattern. So like I said, we had that big drop of at least 10%, and then what we're looking for, like I said, the first green candle, and that's our entry, and then our target is either resistance or 50% from the drop to the base. So that 50% would have been right around here, the green line, which is right at our resistance line. And as you can see, the stock got right up to that and then failed and came back. So it was a great target and a great trade we made on RH. So let's see now. We just entered into Costco on, I think it was the 8th, October 8th. So as you can see, this is Costco here. We had a possible hook pattern. Green candle tomorrow, I told them, would be entry. would look to buy the 220 straight calls for November 16th monthly expo. At this time, I told members they were at $8.05 a contract. Seems so far we have a base at 220 a share. Target profit area is 229 to 230. Looking for a quick swing trade on a confirmation candle. And like I told you guys, a confirmation candle is your base and then your green candle above that. So since we only had one candle here, you need at least 2 candles to confirm a base. So that confirmed the base, and let's see what Costco did next then. So if we look, Costco still held, and this is something I teach members constantly. This is what we're looking for specifically. If this candle, so this was our entry, since it's not below the base of, see the body of this candle here, that green candle from the previous slide? This candle here, the current one, did not drop below the body of the previous candle. If it did that, that would have worried me. We didn't drop below that base of that body, so this was our entry. Our entry was on, let's see here, this was on October 8th we made this trade. This is an official trade. We're looking for a hook pattern, and we're looking to go to 229 to 230 a share for a quick swing trade. Let's see what happened then on Costco. We had that nice base too. So let's see. Here was our entry, and guys, this is what's great about the Santorelli Exchange. If you guys become members, you're going to get these charts sent directly to you with your specific stops, your entries, and your targets. All you have to do is follow the charts, follow the alerts. It's very simple. So we had our entry here, and as you can see, we did not drop below that base. That's a great sign. Another good thing about this trade, Costco, we're going into the retail holiday cyclical trend. The Black Friday is coming up, Christmas, the holidays, great stock to be in retail during the cyclical trend. So as you guys can see here, this was our entry, the shaded area, our base. So what we're looking for, if we entered into Costco right here, which we did, if we got a drop and a close below this peak line here, that base, that would have been our exit. That would have been the time we would have exited the trade and taken a loss. And it would have been a small loss. That's the thing about trading options. You want to reduce your risk and reduce your potential for loss. So that's why it's important to know your stops, know your entries, and know your targets before you enter into a trade. So if we got into this trade here and the next day it dropped below this base, that would have been an exit, and we would have taken out of that trade. Costco though, see how Costco, this candle here, the body broke above the body of this big red candle when we had the big drop. That's a good sign. That's very bullish. I think Costco's gonna hit our target of 229 to 233 either this week or next week. This was a great trade again we made at the Santorelli Exchange. And like I said, guys, this all gets sent to members. So it seems we have a base of the hook at 220 a share. So if it dropped below 220 a share, that would have been your exit signal, and you would have had a small loss if that did happen. Fortunately, it didn't. Even though the markets tanked, Costco did not, and Costco held that base. This is that consolidation phase after that drop. Had the drop, consolidated, now we're looking to go up, and that's the basics of a hook pattern. Like I said, they're not all hook patterns. This was a prime example of a good hook pattern that's still forming. We'll see it get to our target this week or next week. You could watch this and find out what happens. So once it reaches 229, that's when we take our profits. You know, like it might have a big candle, that's why I put 229 to 233. We have the SMAs, the 50-day is the red, and the blue is the 20-day SMA. And then on the other charts I have, you'll usually see a yellow 10-day SMA. But right now, this is just the 50-day red, and the blue's the 20-day. You see them come together here, and that's gonna be our first resistance. And then we also have resistance right here going across right above our 229, which is around 230. So I do feel we'll get to 230. We'll definitely, I think, get to 229, which is where we'll take profits. And the beautiful thing about this, with calls, that's 100 to 150% return, depending on the strike and expo you're getting. So it's really great, guys, when you're able to find these 3 main types of chart patterns that we trade. So that's Costco. Now let's take a look at the next one. So here's another one, and this one I wanted to go over with you guys because it's a beautiful chart. As you can see, guys, this was first a breakout momentum chart that we've been looking at for a while. And what you can see here is you have your wave climb, your wave higher, your climb, that's this yellow arrow. And then what happens, you see you have consolidation at the top here. And when you can't break above a few candles, that's your line, that's where we draw it. And if it doesn't break above that after a bit, if it doesn't break that resistance after a few days, that's your time to exit the trade, take your profits. And then what we're doing again, you have that big drop, we have that consolidation. It's just like a mini hook pattern. So right here we have a hook pattern forming, and these are the same thing. It's just like a mini hook pattern, but it's not. It's a breakout momentum trade. And like I said, we get down to that 50-day SMA, we bounce, get down to that 50-day SMA, bounce, we got down to the 20-day this time, and then bounced, and now we had a big breakdown below the 20, below the 50, and now here's what we're looking for. So here's our base, okay, and usually, as you can see on the other entry areas, it's usually right after that big drop there. So we had that big drop, and then as you can see, whenever you have that big drop there, what's followed by it? You know, look at each candle here, you know, after you had that big drop. You know, so it's a classic breakout momentum going all the way up. And then right here we had the large drop in the market, and here's our entry. We're entering here on the base, big hook forming. Here's our entry, and our target's 143 to 145 a share. You can see here we're waiting for a base to finish and the next green candle. So here was the day we sent out to members that if we got a green candle after this day, that's going to be our entry. So we had an entry signal, and now what we're doing is looking for that target. And what we can do is, like I said, we can either get a call for November 16th monthly expo. It's important for you guys to realize time is on your side. You have to understand patterns that are occurring here. If you're looking here, how long does it take? And this is a great example. Visa, look at this. It's about my hand width away. Every time it's just about the same. So how many days is that? If you look here, it's each one of these candles are 1 day. So after the drop, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So about every month we had a climb and then a drop for a few days. And then climb, drop for a few days, and then a climb. And you can see it goes all the way back here. We had the drop, climb, drop, climb, drop, climb, drop, climb. That's breakout momentum. Okay, and then once we get a sharp drop here, this is the shaft. This is called the shaft of the hook. And now we have the base forming right here. And this was our entry. Now our exit is simple. A close below our base. Okay, so we have our entry, our target of 143 to 145 for November. I'm not sure if we did November or December expo on this trade, but I expect this to reach it in a week or two tops. So as you can see, guys, it's really easy. You see you have your consolidation phases, your drop, and then consolidation, and then your breakout phase. And then your consolidation, drop, consolidation, and then your climb. And it consolidates at the top, it fails to break above resistance, and then it drops. And this here, it dropped down on the 20-day, and this is why we use the 10, 20, and 50-day SMA as a TSE. And you can see how well they form and drop right down to that 50-day, up, right down to that 50-day. It climbs above the 20, drops down to the 20, climbs, and then breaks down. And this is a prime candidate here for the hook pattern. So guys, it's really easy to follow along. If you guys sign up for the SantaReallyExchange.com, you're going to get these charts sent to you. You're going to get defined entry, exit, stop loss areas, and our target areas. Also, you're going to get access to a live trade room from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. daily, lot of traders, over 70 traders in that room that are full-time traders daily, and then thousands of others that are at work all day, and they're just waiting for that text alert or that email alert to get one of these charts, and then they decide if they want to follow it or not. So it's very simple to follow along. In those alerts, those emails I give you, I'll give you a call and then an alternative trade, maybe a spread. If it's an expensive stock like Amazon or Google, and one call will be, $500 to $1,000, I'll give a spread idea instead. If I feel a spread would do great, maybe I'll do, in this example, maybe I do the 130, 750, 140 vertical call spread for November or October 19th monthly expo. Whatever I feel is going to be beneficial, I'll send an alternative trade with a call or a spread. And spreads are usually the types of trades that are weekly paycheck trades. So if you guys sign up for the Santarelli Exchange, we trade 3 major types of hook patterns. Hook patterns, breakout momentum, channel range bound trades. Those are the 3 main types of chart patterns we trade at TSE. So what we're looking for now, when I send out a trade on a stock like this, what we're looking for is what type of trade is it going to be? Is it going to be a call? Is it going to be a spread? And what type of risk are we looking at? The nice thing about Santarelli Exchange is I associate a risk level to each trade, 1 to a 4. 1 being the most amount or the least amount of risk, and a 4 being the highest amount of risk. So you're going to get that level of risk for each trade, and then if I feel there's an alternative trade to a call or a spread, I'll give that. And then the other thing we do at the Santarelli Exchange, I have something I personally do. It's called my weekly paycheck trade, or it doesn't have to be weekly, it could be monthly. It's just simply called the paycheck trade, and it's in parentheses. If I feel stock has a high probability and a low risk, I'll send out a trade alert that says this is our paycheck trade. And when I say that, that means that's my bread and butter trade. That's one that I'll usually put a decent sized trade on, and I have my specific stops, targets, and entries and exits. So weekly paycheck trade is something that I look, just as the word says, as my paycheck. So if I do find a really good trade setup, I'll send out an alert as a paycheck trade. So that's something you'll also get at Santarelli Exchange. Like I said, if you sign up for membership, you're going to get access to our site, our trade feed, on email, text of all of our trades, and also access to our live trade room that I'm in there all day, every day, discussing charts, answering questions from members, going over anything in the markets that are beneficial. One thing, we usually never trade on Mondays at Santarelli Exchange. We use that as an observation day, especially with trading options. And the beautiful thing, if you don't trade options, you could use these charts to trade shares of stock as well. I have many members that join TSE and they don't know options, but they're trading shares, because our charts here, they're great for any type of trader. And if you're a penny stock trader, why would you trade high risk, low probability penny stocks when you could trade stock options on great shares like Amazon, Google, Facebook, Tesla, Microsoft for pennies? For pennies. You don't have to pay $2,000 a share for Amazon. You could literally pay $200 and control 100 shares of Amazon at a certain strike by a certain expiration date. That's what stock options are, derivatives. So you can either sign up and trade options with us or trade shares of stock. It's a great educational site. A lot of members have been with us since day one years ago. About 4 or 5 years ago, they've been with us, and they're learning daily. So like I said, guys, it's very easy to follow along. This is, like I said, this is a hook pattern right now, but it's been a breakout momentum chart for months here. You can see going all the way back to March. It's just been a breakout momentum, and then we have that hook. So we'll see what happens in the market this week, guys. If you want to sign up, either you could sign up for a yearly membership for only $1,199 and use promo code Brazil. Or if you want to pay monthly, you can sign up, use promo code CHART for only $99.99 your first month. and join us in the live trade room, guys. And if you sign up, please put in a 1 ahead of your area code if you're from the United States, so you can receive text alerts. And again, guys, www.thesantarelliexchange.com, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Santarelli Exchange, and click that bell to get notified of any new videos, classes that we share. And you could join our free Facebook group, Day Trading Stock and Options Room, parentheses, the Santarelli Exchange. I look forward to seeing you in the trade room, guys. Have a great night. God bless. If you have questions, feel free to shoot us a message. Take care, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Chapter.